What's happening, everybody? Welcome back to Anime Casuals. I am Lucky,
I'm Michael.
And I'm Johnny.
and we make up Anime Casuals, or in their case, Blurry Casuals. So,
Yeah.
we're going to be talking a little bit more like a podcasty type thing, so it's a little bit easier to just not have to edit, just to be completely honest about it. But also, we get to talk about some of our anime that we're currently watching, as well as some anime that we're kind of looking forward to, or just to continue to watch next week. So, yeah, why don't we go ahead and start it off with you, Johnny? What have you been catching up with?
Last couple weeks I watched an anime in its entirety, and I'll just start with that. So I started an anime. What is it? I always mix up the title. Tanya Saga of Evil, or Saga of Evil Tanya? Saga Evil Tanya.
Saga Tanya of Evil. Nah, it's Tanya Saga of Evil.
Yeah, it's her saga.
It's backwards right now, but Deus Lovo. It's a really good anime. It's super fun to watch. The animation is really crisp and clean, and it's about this guy whose faith is truly tested, and that's my very quick summary of that. And it's been really entertaining to watch. There's a lot of cool scenes, battle scenes, and watching this person dealing with their struggles, and that's been really fun to watch.
It's about World War One.
Well, like alternate timeline World War One, but definitely crazy.
With magic and shit.
I've also been watching this other anime, which I'll be honest, I'm not really sure why I'm still watching it. It's Torodora.
Yeah. Oh, you're still watching it. Okay.
I am. I don't know. Like when we had talked about it, and you were saying like you couldn't get into it really. I was like, yeah, I'm on episode like 5 right now, and I don't know, and I think I'm on like 9 now, and I'm like, why am I still watching this? And I don't know. It's interesting. It's about this guy who is verbally and physically abused by this extremely tiny girl. Woman. They're both in high school, I guess. So, well, not I guess, they are. But, and they're just kind of dealing with their life, and she's super abusive. But I'm still watching it, and I'm not really sure why, like I've said.
That's the best recommendation for an anime I've ever heard. Hey, how you like that anime? I'm still watching it, but I don't know why I'm still watching it.
Yeah, it still got me for some reason. Also on my radar, it's been fun watching Lucky show me Peter Grill. Peter Grill is very fun. Peter Grill and the Philosopher something.
Stone.
Sounds about right.
Harry Potter and the Peter Grill of Stone.
And that's really enjoyable. It's very much a fan service anime. There's 2 versions of it. If you watch the second one, you'll see more. I'll be honest with you.
Philosopher's Time.
Oh, Philosopher's Time. Okay. I don't know. I don't want to take any more as far as what's on my radar. That's kind of been what's going on with me. So yeah, Toradora, Evil Saga Tanya, Peter Grill.
Just gotta say it backwards every time.
Yeah.
Evil Saga Tanya.
I just gotta get the 3 core words in that. That's all I need.
Also, just to clarify, I think you're talking about the second version on VRV that we're talking about for Beater Grill. There's like a home edition type thing, and then there's like
I don't know what it stands for, but yeah.
Yeah, no
there's
idea.
2 versions there. They're both kind of the same, just the censors.
Yeah. So what about you, Michael? What are you catching up on and whatnot?
The other version is called Great Philosopher version.
That's what I like to hear. It's
Great philosophers watch that.
Definitely makes you philosophize.
Yes, it does. I'm most excited about watching through Ray Zero, starting life at 0. I've been like an adamant watcher of that for a long time, and it was one of those people going, after watching season 1, where's the rest of my seasons? And they finally did it. They finally nailed it out. And wow, is it a really, really good. I thought season 1 was like, hey, here's our story, here's our premise. It's an isekai. And that's kind of what you get from season 1. Like, not a lot of world stuff, and there's not too much building.
Simple.
Yeah, there's a giant whale, and season 2 is like, did you want story? Because here's some story. And I'm like, okay, yeah, I'm into it. And Lucky, I don't know if you just saw the most recent episode, but that newest OP, that is fire. That is insane and brutal. Yeah, so I've been really enjoying Ray Zero. I've been watching Digimon. That's been really fun. It's been cool to reconnect with my childhood, but with an updated quality and everything, and the fights, and yeah, it's like if they had that old TV show, the old anime, and they were like, "Hey, let's pump a bunch more money into it and shorten it up." So that's been really fun. But also been watching Food Wars again, like Ray Zero. I've been enjoying it. That's one I've read the manga on, so I mean, I've just been enjoying watching that roll through. Very specifically, I'm watching really, really slowly Log Horizon. You might have heard me talk about that in the blog. I'm up to episode 5 after, 3 weeks. So
I think 5 is my favorite episode of that whole thing.
And I did. It's been actually really, really fun.
Yeah.
I've been enjoying the non-sword art feel of it. And last, one that's like Johnny, I've been watching Monster Girl Doctor.
Fan service all around.
Yeah, fan service. I will say, if you have watched Monster Musume, this one's a bit tamer. Not the first episode, but all the other episodes have been. Hey, stop touching that cowgirl. All the other episodes, I would say, is a lot tamer. Like Monster Musume it was pretty extreme for the fan service. I mean, it was just like basically softcore hentai the whole time. But Monster Girl Doctor has been actually really fun to kind of explore the world that's there, because it has one day the demi-humans and the humans used to fight, and now they're at peace. And it's like, oh, there's already a nice flesh history.
Yeah.
So that's been really fun, and watching kind of the evolution of the medical side of how he solves problems.
More seriously.
Yeah, it definitely does. Like one of them was I think a mermaid who spent too much time out of the water, and she got sick from it. And I was like, my brain never even contemplated that was a possibility for mermaids. I thought they were fine both ways, but I was like, oh, that's really cool. So yeah, that's about those are the ones I'm excited about, without taking some of the really good ones, because we got other ones out there. But I'll leave Lucky to talk about them if he's going to.
Oh, okay. That's I'm gonna try and figure out which ones you didn't mention. So all those ones, all those ones I've been watching as well. I just started one that is it's just pulling me in, man. It's just pulling me in on the freaking fish pole. It's called Frankenstein Family, and it is the title alone threw me off on it, because it was I was like, what the heck is this? And it's basically about these two this family that was experimented on by their parents, and except for one kid who's just a genius. But there's a dog. One of them can turn into a dog. One of them is the tree girl. So if she's out in the sun too long, she ends up basically just actually sprouting things like mushrooms and tree limbs and stuff. There is a telepath, but she can read minds. And also kind of sense where people are. And there is a spider girl, and she, exactly, she has 4 legs coming out of her, kind of like Dr. Octopus. She's got 4 legs coming out of her, 4 spider legs coming out of her back. And the thing about it, it threw me off, because I was just I was like, man, this is a really weird show, but it's actually super relatable. And I just finished editing our Love Chunibyo and Other Delusions thing, and video that should be coming out right before this, and it kind of made me think about just how some of these animes are just so ridiculous, but they're so relatable at the same time, because it's basically this kid trying to get his crazy family that wouldn't fit in normal life, just to take them out to dinner in the first episode, and they're all just ruining everything. The guy turns into a dog, starts eating all the food, all the spider girl's pecking on things with their spider legs and stuff, and he's just like, why can't you guys be normal? And I was like, dude, I felt that, dude. When you're at a big family event, you're just like, man, these people are not normal, man. They're weird. How are they related to me? So that is that. Of course, Ray Zero. That oh man, dude, there's just so much going on with that.
Going hard.
It's so great. Yeah, it's going real hard, especially the last episode at the very end. Woo, man. There is, of course, we have One Piece. That was one of the ones that I noticed wasn't mentioned as well. That is going great, man. I really, not to spoil too much of it, but the Land of Wano is where I wanted to see Zoro shine, and I'm really seeing it a lot right now. And we're getting a lot of answers. Yeah, and it's got some great twists and turns and stuff going on for it. And it feels like it's a little bit better paced than the Whole Cake Island arc. Even though we did have a real big stretch that was like a big pause on it. So there is that. And then there was also, I just started another one called Blend S. And I know you I mentioned this to you guys, but if anybody's watching, whoever's watching this, if you ever see like an anime meme thing, they'll usually have the intro somewhere in there where it's like smile, sweet, something sadistic, and then like everybody like remembers that for some reason. But yeah, it's just basically about this maid cafe with a bunch of different girls who represent a different I don't want to say fetish, but it's kind of what it is. There's the tsundere girl, there's the sadistic girl, there is the little sister, and there's the big sister. And then there's the two chefs that are also weird. But yeah, it's that one's a pretty great show, and I'm looking forward to really trying to finish that one. But I think I'm going to finish Frankenstein Family first because it kind of got me there. Yeah, any what have you, especially you, Johnny? What's kind of keeping you with Peter Grill besides the obvious things? Is there, because to me, just in the first two episodes, it did kind of seem like there was. It does seem like there's kind of a relatability factor besides the girl magnet part of it to his struggle and all that kind of stuff.
I don't know, being a bit more antisocial. I don't know if I can relate too much with that, but definitely the struggle of him trying to say no and constantly failing.
Yeah,
like I can see that'd be rough. That's hard. And just seeing the antics he goes through is really entertaining. So I don't know. I like where it's going, and I'm intrigued to see where it continues to go. So
nice. And then Michael, when you were talking about, I think were you the first one that got us into Re:Zero? I feel like you were the one pushing me to watch it, and then I got into it. I think I watched the first episode a long time before that, and then I was like, man, this is a weird anime, man. And then I think the second episode kind of got me in. But what do you think is gonna change? Do you think like do you think we're gonna get more action in this season, or do you think there's gonna be kind of like the last season where it ramps up to it, climaxes, and then goes back down, ramps up and it climaxes, that kind of thing? Or
well,
it's been pretty hard.
Yeah, and plus I also have to watch that director's cut because apparently there's extra scenes and stuff in there that leads better into season 2. And I'm really expecting. I mean, we're only on episode 6 or 7 or something?
Yeah, 6 is the one that we're coming up on, yeah.
And if there's a possible another 24 episodes, dude, it's starting hard. It's starting it's like just jumping around the story. I'm expecting there'll be not a lot more action, but a lot more intrigue and world building in this one. I guess spoiler, no spoiler. If you're not watching it, you're not watching it. But if you are, I mean, I think we're going to learn more about the witches in this world. And possibly, still season 1, possibly the Witch of Jealousy that tied herself directly to Subaru.
Yeah,
Subaru?
Yeah, Subaru. Yeah, just
Subaru.
Like the car.
Yeah,
Subaru.
Barasu. Yeah,
Barasu.
freaking Rom, dude. But
yeah, and I'm really, really hoping possibly for some new characters, like maybe some new actual mainstays. Because I mean, if you think about it, Rem and Ram didn't come into till episode 10 or something. Amelia was half in there and half not, and I want to learn more about Rosewall Sama.
Yeah.
Here's kind of I guess, spoiler if you haven't watched the last couple, I don't know, this season. How's Rem going to come back? You think she's just gone? It's Rem, right? R-E-M?
Yeah, that's a blue-haired one.
Yeah, just like R.E.M. Speedwagon.
Yeah.
Yeah, R.E.M. Speedwagon. Yeah, split us off.
That's actually what I was talking about.
Yeah.
Forget the anime.
Yeah, forget the anime. I think... Yeah, I feel like this witch of gluttony that he's meeting, we're just going into spoilers anyway, that he met with recently is probably going to be the answer to that. But yeah, it seems I don't know how this whole thing works, to be honest with you. Like it seems like witches just kind of like I don't know, maybe because there's the we met Beetlejuice last season, who was the sin of sloth.
Lot.
And I'm assuming that the witches have something to do with these sins, kind of like we were mentioning in kind of another anime that kind of deals with the sins is Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood. If you haven't watched that yet, but this is a very minor spoiler. But there's a character in there named Father who's also involved with the sins, and that's kind of what I think these witches kind of are. But yeah, man, who really knows with Re:Zero, man? It's kind of going into some separate directions. But Johnny, before I forget, I wanted to ask you because I was actually really surprised when you said you're on episode 9 of Toradora. Does it get better than what I'm like where I'm at? Because I'm on episode 3 or 4, and this poor guy Ryu is getting the crap like kicked out of him, man, and I just can't sympathize or empathize with this tiny girl. Like, what is going on here?
I don't know. It's a 24 episode or, around that anime. So I'm kind of thinking it might start to get a little bit heavier. There was actually one moment that I did like where there is this other character that comes in and she's a model and she's one of those like two-faced,
That's the
two-faced
anime you're watching. The one with the loud, like, annoying girl who's really
the
mean?
one you heard from the kitchen or something?
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, so there's some chick who's she's a model, but like I was saying, she's two-faced. And around this, I don't even remember her name, Taiga, that's the main chick's name. They're very much like butting heads and stuff and constantly fighting. But there's this moment where the model chick, that I can't remember her name, is trying to deal with an issue, like a stalker, and she can't really... Oh, right, you haven't seen it. Never mind.
Yeah. All right,
well, she just... I don't know, there's a moment that makes me realize, I don't know, it was just a nice moment between Taiga and this chick, kind of showing her things.
I actually had a...
I'm just like backtracking all over. I'm like,
this is very off topic, but after watching a couple of YouTube videos about it, what do you think, Lucky? Because we have two we haven't mentioned. We have Fire Force and God of High School, both very early on in their series.
Yes.
What do you think the rest of God of High School is going to look like? Is it just, are we going to get all tournament arcs or like what? Like, because like we finished the preliminaries, and so it's like, are we going to have another like 20 episodes of tournament, or like what do you think is going to happen?
It's all going to just be talking.
Yeah,
straight talking.
Small conversations.
Yeah. Okay. Well, first off, I was actually really looking forward to. So I'll put the link down in the description below. But I did a video breakdown of like Aaron's Titan versus the Armored Titan in Attack on Titan recently, and I wanted to do something because I heard there was going to be a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu guy that takes on the main character of God of High School. Turns out he beats him in like one kick. And I'm like, what? Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu is literally like the best martial arts on the planet, and nobody cares about it apparently. So I mean, there's that. I feel like it's gonna go a little bit like a Baki. Like there's gonna be the main tournament, but then these characters that were eliminated are gonna come back, and then face off against some other people because it seems like they're gonna have to meet with other people that were in a different bracket and stuff. So. I mean, there is that. Also, there's the crazy, we call them stands, but I don't know what to call them, like the big summoning things that people do.
Oh, yeah. That's what I had in my mind to call them stands, too.
Yeah. Yeah, so, I mean, there's that. I mean, that's not really a spoiler because there's literally like like in the beginning episodes, literally just this Buddhist palm, like from Kung Fu, what's it, Kung Fu Hustle, where it just goes down and smacks them, but it's got a little cross, so we call it the Christian palm. So, yeah, it's that's gonna be interesting, man. I obviously there's some things that have to be kind of some loose ends that need to be tied up with some of the characters, but that's kind of how I think it's going to happen. What do you guys think?
I don't know if so. Okay, you said another 20 episodes. I mean, do you know
Possibly.
for sure it's going to be?
No, I don't know.
Just checking.
I'm hoping. Cross our fingers. I mean, there's so much webtoon. There's so much. There's like 3 seasons of like, it was like 300 chapters or something. So I'm like, easily they could do 24.
Okay.
They don't need to wait. They don't need to. It's not like this dude who is something Park, I think his name. He is pounding this stuff out and has been going on for like a couple years now. So I mean, they should not have an issue of slow rolling this anime.
Yeah.
Kind of like Tower of God was what, 12 episodes?
13, yeah.
13. I don't think they need to do that with this. Like God of High School just seems like it's gonna just go.
I know, but I mean, okay, so they did like preliminaries. Are they gonna go preliminaries then just to straight to finals? Like, is there 3 sections to this tournament? I don't know. That's why I'm so there's so much to consider here.
Well, you got the God of High School.
Can it all fit in 24 episodes?
They also got to put the God of Middle School in there, God of Elementary School, and then God of College.
Yeah,
and then after that, they're gonna have God of School.
Yeah, right.
Gotcha.
So we got 4 parts at least.
I majored in
Then,
God.
I was gonna say that'd be cool if it was just like God of like whatever you majored in, and just like God of Psychology, and just like psychologists beating the crap out of each other, and just
from different fine battle.
Yeah, right. God of Retail. Oh my God. Very nice. What do you think, Michael?
I'm expecting that we're gonna get like. I was gonna say My Hero, but I mean I don't think it happens with My Hero. We're gonna start with the tournament. We're gonna get in. We're gonna go from these preliminaries to the main tournament, which I'm guessing is gonna be another sub tournament to get to a bigger tournament. So it's gonna be like we got the preliminaries. Now we got the regionals. Now we got the continent wide one, and then we got the world tournament.
Yeah.
But in the middle of that, we're probably gonna get some kind of big arc that's gonna take down the tournament for a little bit, that all the characters gonna, like you said, gonna come back in. Because I will say, we've been in 5 episodes, and if it's 12 episodes, it kind of makes sense. But 5 episodes, and in the theme, these characters that were in the tournament are like, we look at each one of them. I'm like, it seems kind of odd that you see the Bat guy, and you see all the wrestler girl, and they're all very prominent in the opener, but we're 5 episodes in, and we've already finished with. I don't know about finished with these characters, but these characters have had their time already.
Yeah.
So I'm like, what does that mean? Am I looking too far into it? Did they just make a cool opener, or does this mean that they're going to be more main characters? So
I'm wondering if maybe it's just 12 episodes first season, then they'll do another 12 with like another, bigger scale of high schools. But who knows? I don't know.
Yeah, I think I gotta ask you though, Michael, because I've been wanting one of you guys to watch Log Horizon for so long. It's possibly my favorite gaming. Is it? Yeah, I think it's definitely my favorite gaming isekai kind of thing out there. So I remember when I was editing your vlog and you'd mentioned trying to watch it. Like, what was the reason behind like you going for that?
Part of the reason, there was a tiny Lucky in my head who's telling me to watch Log Horizon. The second was after looking at a couple new, not new anime, but interesting anime like Death Parade. I was like, I'll watch the Death Parade, cool opener. But I kind of wanted something a little more video gamey. I think after watching, like, I knew Re:Zero. I mean, we're gonna get back into Re:Zero. We're watching kind of an RPG-esque Peter Grill, and it was really getting me more back in that fantasy style. And I was like, well, the biggest thing about Log Horizon, why I didn't watch it for a while after you recommended it a long time ago, was I didn't want something too close to Sword Art Online. And I gotta admit, the premise for it is almost exactly the same.
Oh yeah, it's carbon copy.
Yeah. And it's not even like Overlord, where like that dude's playing like on his computer, and then suddenly he's like, "Oh, what?" Or no, that's how not to summon a demon lord, where he's like playing on his computer, and then he gets sucked.
I think that's both of them. Yeah, I think that's both of them that they're doing. Yeah.
Yeah, and like I was like, this is carbon copy of Sword Art, so I'm like, what's gonna make this unique? Well, I don't know how true it is. The cathedral thing where people respawn. I don't know if that's true yet. I mean, there was a guy who's like, I respawn, but they really haven't gone into it that much. but the strategy of how this main dude takes every fight, how like the characters, the crazy cat dude.
Oh, you got to that. Nice, dude.
Yeah.
I love that guy.
Johnny, were you there while I was watching that?
I saw the cat guy for a little bit.
Dude, that guy is awesome. He's like, oh yeah, and he's so smooth. And I'm like, yeah, dude, I'm loving these characters. Like the main people in his guild are like overly affectionate on him, and like I'm like, it's got a little everything. Unlike Sword Art, which is, basically like one character gets to be awesome.
Yeah.
Later on, when we bring Asuna back in, she's awesome. Oh, she got captured again? Oh, okay, wait. Oh, she's back. She got captured again? Oh.
Insert tentacle monster.
Yeah, yeah, and like that's the only thing that's been bothering me about Sword Art. I haven't watched Alicization, but I'm gonna get around to it, and I've heard it's really, really good, new, cool arc for it. But I don't know if you have any more questions, but I gotta say, just to put it in there, I'm really looking forward to Seven Deadly Sins because we were talking about sins earlier, and I was like, oh, yeah, it just came out last night.
Oh, dang! There you go.
Season 4, and I'm since again that's another one I read the manga on. I'm really excited for this season.
That's the other one I've been watching actually in preparation for the new season. I've been trying to rewatch Seven Deadly.
Oh, nice. Actually, before we move on too far from Log Horizon, I wanted to tell you a little funny side note. So I know I've been pushing you to watch it. Funny enough, I actually dropped off of it the first time I watched it after the first episode. I dropped hard off of it because I was like, why isn't he killing a bunch of things like Kirito does? Like, they're kind of it shows them, and they're really struggling to beat. Like, I mean, granted, the monsters are kind of difficult, but because they're trying to figure out like how to use their screens, how to use everything like in real time and all that kind of stuff. So I wasn't expecting them to struggle so hard. I wanted like this really OP character from the beginning. And that's what kind of threw me off about it. And then once I got around to watching it, I was like, oh, okay, let me just put this around differently. You know
that was actually what you just said. That was actually a really cool aspect I was not expecting because in Sword Art, they start by going without the restriction of like you're stuck in a game. He's like, okay, you just gotta feel the skill, and that's how you do it. And in this, he's like, it's the same thing, but they're not used to it. They're used to like pressing buttons and then summoning or doing a spell that way. But them learning that you just do it and then it works, I was like, whoa, that's a cool spin on it. Also, that weird plant monster that was taking them down like immediately. Like, I was like, what?
What? So we gotta end this all with the coup de grace, the ultimate anime. I'm gonna just go out on a limb and say that this is gonna be the anime of this season, at least my favorite one of this season, which is Fire Force. That always delivers. What do you guys think? What do you guys think the direction going forward is for this? And do you like what you're seeing so far? Do you think they could be doing some things different, or do you think it's maybe a little too early to tell?
In Fire Force?
In Fire Force, at least for you guys. What do you think, Johnny?
Fire Force is currently on episode 6.
Yeah.
I don't know. I can't really tell if it's trying to go like long haul, with this the pillar system. They're like, we just found I think it's 5th pillar, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
So I don't know if they're just gonna extend that through the season, and find the rest of the pillars, or if they're gonna throw that in like through another season where it's gonna go. But I definitely like what it's doing. I'm enjoying watching it. I missed the first season opener. I think that's always going to be one thing. I lose a little bit of hype just because of that. Some of the openers have been good. That first one, though.
Yeah.
It's golden.
What do you think, Michael?
I definitely, that opener is really good. But just like One Piece, we'll just wait for it to come back around again and let us love the themes that are coming up. I am definitely looking forward to it. Sometimes I'm a little sad though because they do the next episode on, and so like you watch the end, they're like, "Hey, this is what happens," and like a recent episode was like, "Hey, we're in a fight." Oh, the next episode they're done fighting. Oh, I thought that was something else. that was a little let down, but just like God of High School and Re:Zero, I mean, it's starting off really, really strong, getting us like neck deep into like the back the background, and that's something I thought was really unique last season with Fire Force, is that every time they would open up the episode, they would say, here's a little bit more about the world, or like a little bit more about like the Great Fire, or a little bit more about like where the demons and the fire powers come from.
I need a Dola.
And this one, they're starting off exactly what is perfect about Fire Force. It's funny, it's actiony, it's got a little bit of everything in it, and it just keeps your attention the whole time.
Mm-hmm.
And I've just been like really impressed with how they developed even a new quirk in this upcoming season. And I was just like, where are you guys getting all these cool ideas from? Jeez. Right. But I gotta say, the most recent fight in the last 2 episodes, that's been crazy. There's some crazy stuff, and I gotta say, best girl Maki out there. Okay. She's cool. Latom Maki, Latom. Stop losing your clothes.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, I think for me at least, I feel there's one thing that always bothers me with these series is how, because the end of the last season, kind of, to be as vague as possible, Shinra went to a level that was just ridiculous. And granted, it was, yeah. And then he just kind of, like this season, he's kind of starting back a little bit. So yeah. I always wonder about that, like how they power scale. So like I always wonder if they do write the whole story and then they, tell the story, or if they write it up to a point because they don't know, if hey, spoilers, I saw that, or if they they just don't know how long it's gonna go, so why even invest this much into a story and then go this part. Not that I'm saying the Fire Force does that, but I've just seen that with certain other shows, so I'm just keeping that in the back of my mind right now. But yeah, dude, that, like I said, that fight scenes most recently are very cool. And luckily, there's just so many. I feel like the last season was just so great at introducing us to all the Fire Force people that now we don't have to worry about the character backstory or anything. We literally just get to see, crazy powers, especially from the other precincts, which is awesome. But yeah, I think that's. I really do really mean that I think this is going to be my anime for this season. Yeah. Although you did mention Seven Deadly Sins, Johnny, so I mean there is that. So I have to watch that and make my final decision. But anything you guys want to leave off on? We'll go and start off with you, Johnny.
I don't know. As I look at this list real quick, I don't think so. No. It's just been nice having time to watch a bunch of anime.
Thanks, quarantine.
Weirdly enough, I still feel like there's plenty of anime I need to finish. Actually, there's one. Science Fell in Love, and I tried to logic it. I didn't finish that one. That's too bad. But yeah, I'm enjoying what's out there. It's a good time for anime.
I forgot one. I just finished Laid Back Camp.
Oh yeah.
That was one of the sweetest, most adorable anime I have watched in a long time. Like, it was just feel good. There was like very low conflict, and it also taught you how to camp. Lucky, did you continue watching Erased?
You know what? Actually, I didn't. I ended up watching the first episode and a little bit of the second episode. I was, you know what? It's actually kind of similar to your reason for not watching Log Horizon is just because I had already watched too much, like really, or I just wasn't in the mood, I guess is a better way to put it, for really like a really heavy story. Not that was good. Like the next episode after the first one is a little bit more laid back, but obviously we're inching up to like a very big mystery. So I just wasn't in the mood for it, which I feel like is kind of the cool thing about this channel is it kind of makes makes all of us like responsible for watching anime, or else we don't have any content to really talk about. So it kind of keeps us on our toes. Exactly. So I mean that's kind of living the dream right there. So I guess with that we'll go ahead and give you a salute. So yeah. Thanks for watching our video. We'll be shooting these. These are usually coming in on Fridays. So even though this will be aired on Sunday, we have to say a very happy birthday to Johnny. who is now 28. 28? 29?
I think it's 29. I think.
Is it really? Oh,
I
that's right. I'm turning 28. Never mind.
How old am I?
Dude, I just
Where am
finished.
I in life?
I just finished, editing our video on Love Chinibio and Other Delusions, and I straight up had no idea how old I was. I was like, I'm 26 or 27. I had to put like a little subtitle in there and said like, oh, I'm actually 27. Just to let you know, because I always forget because I'm born in 1992, but I'm born in December. So even though I should be 28, or I should be 28 by the end of this year, or I should be 28 by this year. It's by the end of the year. So yeah, so there we go. So a very happy birthday to you, Johnny, and yeah, for all you anime casual viewers out there, don't forget, keep it casual.
Hey guys, thanks for watching our first ever Anime Casuals Weekend Talk. Please like, share, and subscribe for more Anime Casuals. And our video schedule goes as follows. Video 1 will be on Wednesdays, Video 2 will be on Saturdays, and our Weekend Talk, like the one you just saw, will be on Sundays, as well as a couple things that we sprinkle in between every now and then. Don't forget guys, keep it casual.